Hey guys, so it's a perfectly sunny spring day, and I thought this would be a great time to talk about depression and anxiety and suicidal thoughts. Yes, so let's get to it. I've gotten some messages asking how I journal depression and how to handle suicidal thoughts. And a lot of you people on my channel are depressed. I'm not sure if there's a cause and effect relationship there or not, but yeah. Okay, so I thought I would show you two ways in which I journal depression, and that's first off just writing it, and the second is collaging like this. Sometimes it'll be quotes or song lyrics. This one just says "New Reason to Live." Some are song lyrics, but yeah. And okay, I'll start with writing out suicidal thoughts. Okay, I write about what the intense emotions, but sometimes I wait a little while. I don't know, you kind of have to determine whether emotionally you can like write right then, or you need to wait a few hours or like a day or two and write it out first. And writing out the darker thoughts, sometimes just finding a way to distract yourself can really help write out the emotions until they feel less intense. Maybe a few hours, like a day or two, not like 20 years and you avoid your problems for that long or anything. But first is just like taking a nap. Sometimes you just feel like unbearably exhausted, and sometimes like literally sleeping can make things seem just bearable enough that you want to take it and you want to try again. Sometimes that doesn't work. Hotlines can be a good thing. It just helps add a little bit of rational thought back into your overwhelmed, just overwhelming waves of sadness that keep rushing over you, and you can't, you just kind of lose all hope. But when hotlines can help you see that that you're not as like fucked as you feel, basically. Okay, so yeah, like sleeping, literally. Hotlines, if you go to the ER and you say that you're suicidal, you could have a 24 or 48 hour hold, which could save your ass. So you might want to do that if you don't have insurance. The ghetto way of doing that, which isn't as nearly as helpful, but if you don't want to go to the ER or you don't have insurance, first off, there's some mental clinics in a lot of cities where you can walk in and they have like low cost or even free crisis centers. But if you don't want to do any of that, or you don't want to tell anyone, but you just need to write out the thoughts for a while, going to a public place and just sitting there, like going to a movie and sitting there, going to Starbucks, Walmart, like McDonald's, 24 hours, whatever, just like being around people and being away from your house that has like pills in it and that kind of thing, and just having an external distraction can really help. If you friends might be okay, if you tell someone that chances are they'll panic, which may or may not be a good, that might be a good thing. They might just flip their shit, but it's out of concern. It's coming from a good place. Even if they overreact, they'll probably try to talk you into going to the ER, really. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. At least gives you a chance at saving yourself now. You can always, this is gonna sound strange, but procrastination can be a good thing here. Just hanging on for one more day to see if you still feel, or another month, whatever, see if the feelings are still intense, and you might not feel like you have any possibility of hope or changing your life now, but eventually you can. If I had given up when I was really tempted to way over a decade ago, I would have missed out on so many fun memories and cool experiences, and you're strong enough to handle all the depressed thoughts or even suicidal thoughts now, so you are strong enough to do some things in your life to create the life that you really want, that you really want and that you can enjoy. So yeah, I'll read you this in a second, which you probably read because you've been staring at it for like 20 years so far, but yeah, even if you feel like that there's nothing to look forward to and you're just screwed and there's nothing enjoyable that can happen in your life, you can make those fun things happen for yourself. More than a decade ago, when I just didn't even know if I wanted my life, I okay, you don't even have to have an external reason to be depressed. You know, you might have like a perfect life, a perfect job, school, family, whatever, and you still hate it, which tends to piss yourself off because you're like, I have this stuff, like I have a good life, why am I not happy? But, you know, you can still have depression, like long-term clinical depression, regardless of your external situation. You don't have to have a horrible, tragic life to feel depressed, and with that, you can still acknowledge your own pain while realizing that, you know, the ways in which you're fortunate or privileged. Like, we have a roof over our heads now. We're better off than millions of people in the world. We have internet. There's billions who don't have, you know, internet, food, anything, but we can still acknowledge our own pain even knowing that. You know, so it's like acknowledging our pain but not being a martyr, and either kind of having a perspective on it. All right, so yeah, back in 2007, okay, I'll read you this one first, actually. All right, where'd it go? Okay, so yeah, someone had called me asking for some info, and they got mad that I didn't call them right away, which is a really annoying thing to do, by the way. But anyway, so I wrote, no big deal, but it was just, this was from 2007, no big deal, but it was just a straw that broke the camel's back. Then when I got home after work, I started crying for 20 feet from the door. Tears commenced, and I said how much I hated my life, like literally out loud. And that happened a lot, more than I wanted to admit. And a lot of people, okay, my camera cut off, but anyway, people in my life would probably be pretty shocked at knowing that I was even depressed, let alone I had ever hated my life, because I did have, back in 2007 when I wrote that, you know, I hated my life, and that was such a common feeling for me. You know, I had a good school, a good job, like I had a nice place to live in a cool city, but, you know, it wasn't enough. So yeah, none of that was enough, even though externally my life was good, so people would be pretty shocked that I was depressed and that miserable at the time. But that's the thing, you don't have to have a external reason or horrible external life to be miserable and not see the point in it. So back then I decided to change my life. I found a different school, different job, different place to live, like all this stuff. I started trying hobbies and going out to events and festivals and trying to make some fun memories and trying to make a life that I wanted. And, you know, as exhausted and defeated and just like fucked as you feel, you know, you're strong enough that you've been dealing with like the depressed, dark thoughts for so long that actually going out and, you know, finding another job and all this stuff seems much less painful in comparison to handling the intense dark thoughts that you felt for so long. And as much as you think that there's nothing to look forward to, like I didn't either, but there was a lot to look forward to. I would have missed out on, you know, so much. You know, watching the sunsets of the lake, goofing around with friends at Walmart at 3 a.m. after riding around horses around the city, which is very disturbing. Horses in the city, by the way. But, you know, just trying different hobbies and different experiences like that. You know, doing Times Square for New Year's, a number of years. You know, going to Tokyo, I saved up for that. Just the different stuff that, you know, I've made happen for myself that I made some fun memories for myself, like these things. Even though I thought I'd never had, you know, I wouldn't have anything to look forward to, like over a decade ago, I made stuff to look forward to, and I would have missed out on all that had I given up when I'd originally wanted to. And, you know, if I give up now, like I would miss out on who knows what. If you give up now, you'll miss out on who knows what. And that's the other thing. If you give up now, you know, you're giving up what's known right now, this life, for, like, no one knows exactly what. You know, you don't know what's going to happen if you end it. I mean, if you believe in, you know, heaven and hell, what if, you know, hell, like, or if you believe in reincarnation, what if, you know, like, you'd be a termite. I don't believe in reincarnation, but, like, whatever you believe, if you believe in nothing, then you're trading this known life that you have a chance at hope for what you believe is nothing. Or if you believe in, you know, heaven, hell, whatever it is you believe in, like, you're trading out this known life that you've been able to tolerate up to now for something that you don't know. And you've traded out the hope that you could change your life now, and that's, you know, possible. It takes work, but compared to, like, dealing with the horrible, hellish, like, dark thoughts that you've had to deal with, it's relatively less dreadful to, like, externally change your life than it is to, than it is to handle those thoughts all the time. Okay, I'm gonna read one of the journaling depression entries that I wrote. So, which you probably have been looking at for like so long that you've probably read it like 20 times now. But yeah, I meant to film this, like plan this video and make it edited, but I got messages asking, and I don't know that I'll ever get to it because I don't really, like, I've been wanting to make this video and dreading at the same time, and I don't think I'll ever actually plan the video properly, so I'm just going with this. Alright, so anyway, I read this in 2013. I don't know if I really want any of this. Did I already read this to you? I've tried to make this video so many times. Okay, I'm just gonna go like this, and like you can pause it if you want to read it, but I just wrote, like, I'm tired already. How could I possibly live to 80? And why would I want to? What's the point? Why is there the pain? I don't know. I just look at the middle-aged people and I'm like, do I want that? Do I want all the pain and ailments that come with aging? All the bullshit, the frustration, uncertainty, everything. I'm fucking old already. Sometimes the dark entries can have a little humor in it. I'm fucking old already. My life is what I make it. And I don't know if I want to make it anything. Maybe I just don't see the point in even trying anymore. I don't know if it's worth it. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, I guess I'm afraid of aging and death, even though I sometimes just want to be done. I'm tired of all the problems and shit. I don't know if I even want any of this. Part of me does. I write journals, take photos, and everything to document my life. Then part of me doesn't want any of this shit in life, and I just feel defeated, broken, alone, and fucked. I don't know. I try to picture myself old sometimes, and I can't, though I would make a fun grandma. So sometimes the dark stuff has, like, a little bit of humor, like me being old, like an old grandma in it. But if you feel like that, you're at least not alone. You've been strong enough to handle the dark thoughts for so long that you know, even though you don't feel like you're strong enough to write this out, like, writing it out and making your life what you want, whether it's like a new job, applying to tons of jobs, finding a new job, or finding, like, changing your schedule, whatever it is less bad than dealing with the shit that you've already been dealing with in your head. And it's inexplicable shit a lot of the time. It's just like waves of sadness can rush over you. You don't know why, and there's no explanation. If someone asks you what's wrong, sometimes you're just like, I don't know. Like, I just don't want any of this, and I don't know why. And you just, like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm just, like, thinking about everything and aging, and I'm just like, and it's just, I don't know. You just get overwhelmed by mortality and just, like, all the shit that you'll have to do in life and everything else. But, the shit's not all flying at you at once, and if you give up now, you'll miss out on the good memories too. So you'll have had a sad life that ends shortly, and with zero hope of having a good life. But if you write it out, you have a chance to change your life, even if you don't think you can. Like, I didn't think there was anything to look forward to, and, I would have missed out on so many experiences that are, like, some of my favorite memories of all time, and I would never have had a chance at having the life I wanted, there was a lot of good years in there, and yeah, so that's how I journal depression. Sometimes I collage, and sometimes when I collage or write, sometimes I'll just wait a few hours or a day or two until the intensity of the feelings kind of goes down a bit. If journaling's taught me anything, it's taught me that feelings can change really quickly, and what might be overwhelming despair right now might be at least tolerable despair later on. And being, is depressed, getting to the darkest point in your life where you just flat out don't want anymore and you just don't think you can take it, that, having been through hell, the blissful moments become all the more blissful. The times that I have had fun in recent years were all the more enjoyable, and it made me really, like, cherish them more, whether it was like Times Square or Tokyo, or goofing around with friends at Walmart at 3 a.m. Even just the simple stuff like that. Seeing sunflowers on the side of the highway and watching the sunset and the sunflowers, like... I mean, my camera's cut off like 20 million times. But anyway, watching sunflowers wilt on the side of the highway, watching sunsets, all those memories are all the more... This is going to sound weird, pleasurable, than they would have been had I not been through hell too, like, felt the hell. Okay, my camera really sucks, but anyway... Yeah, having been through hell, it makes the enjoyable memories seem all the more enjoyable, and it also gives you a good reason to go out and try new hobbies, or to make your life what you want it to be, and to, I don't know, I've made a list of what my ideal day is, my ideal life is, what matters to me, whether it's career, family, or whatever. I've made a list of that. I've made a list of my favorite memories, just like cute, enjoyable ones, like listing out my favorite old childhood board games, writing out a list of favorite memories, things like that. So yeah, if you felt like all this, you're not alone in it, and you've been strong enough to deal with the dark thoughts, so you are, even if you don't feel like you're strong enough to continue, it's easier to deal with your external life after you write out the dark thoughts and try to, and start feeling a little bit better than it is to have to deal with the, like, waves of sadness that rush over you all the time and make you want to just quit. So yeah, my camera's gonna cut out, but, if you feel like there's no point or nothing to look forward to, I didn't either, but I would have missed out on so much had I given up back then. And yeah, write out the thoughts and know you're not alone in it. Go to McDonald's, call a hotline, whatever, do something to write it out, and then decide what you want out of life and what really matters to you, whether that's a career or family or travel, whatever, like taking pictures of feet, like anything, what you really want in life. If it's photography, if it's like, I don't know, just career stuff, like anything, travel, deciding what it is that you would make you happy in life. And if you're depressed, or someone in your family is depressed, or your friends, it's not about you unless you're like an ass to them, but it's not about you. It's just, it just is what it is. People who have a perfect external life, perfect family, everything, can be just as depressed. You don't have to have a specific reason to be depressed or the most tragic life ever to feel sad, and you don't have to have a reason why, but you can have things to look forward to and make a enjoyable life for yourself. It's the continuing process. It's not like you're like, oh, I think I'm gonna be happy and that's it. You have to keep working at it. Like, I'm working at it now. Eventually, you might fall into depression again, but you can still work at it and like fight it off, just like I have done, a number of times over the years. Okay, my video camera's gonna cut out, but I'm gonna leave it at that. Write out the thoughts and yeah, find what makes you happy, and there's so much to look forward to that you can make for yourself. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. All right, bye.